Imagine a toddler dropping a cup of water. Instead of crying, they calmly grab a small broom and clean it up themselves. That level of calm independence is something you can build in your own house right now, using the science-backed principles of the Montessori method. To understand how it works, we have to look back to its founder. Dr. Maria Montessori was an Italian educator and the very first woman to graduate as a doctor of medicine from the University of Rome. While working with children who had learning difficulties, she noticed a clear pattern. These students thrived when they were given real-world experiences and hands-on activities, vastly outperforming expectations set by traditional lecture-based teaching. We are going to take her 5 core principles and use them to reorganize your child's room and daily routine today. Montessori functions as a developmental science built on specific methods of observation and response. It prioritizes the child's innate drive for capability over any specific style of decor or toy. Step 1 requires a shift in how you view your role. In a traditional classroom model, an adult stands at the front of the room, lecturing students sitting quietly at their desks. The Montessori method replaces that dynamic. You become a guide. Your job is to observe your child's interests and facilitate their development through careful proximity, rather than direct instruction. This approach relies on a concept called the absorbent mind. Children naturally learn complex skills simply by living and using their senses to explore their daily environment. Because they are constantly absorbing information, the primary rule of this method is respect. When a child displays intense focus or concentration on a task, you do not interrupt them. If they are deeply engaged in building a tower, stepping in to say it is time for lunch cuts off their train of thought. It disrespects their time and hinders their ability to build a sustained attention span. By stepping back to act as a guide and fiercely protecting their moments of concentration, you validate their work and let their natural learning process flourish. Step 2 is creating the prepared environment. To do this, you have to evaluate the room entirely from your child's perspective, which means you drop down to their physical height. The goal here is strict. Create a space that is 100% accessible to them, removing any need for an adult to hand them things. Start by installing coat hooks and storage bins at their eye level. Next, swap deep toy boxes for low, open shelving so resources are visible and within reach. Limit items to prevent clutter and move daily clothing choices into accessible bottom drawers. This setup enables what Montessori called auto-education. It is the child's ability to teach themselves through unhindered exploration. When a room was designed to fully support physical independence, the environment itself becomes the teacher. Step 3 is curating the materials on those shelves. Go through their toys and remove items that use batteries, flashing lights, and loud sounds to dictate how to play. A flashy plastic toy locks a child into a specific, repetitive action. A simple wooden object requires the child to invent the activity. Simple, sustainable materials prevent sensory overload. They keep the child grounded and allow them to fully concentrate on the task directly in front of them. By providing stripped-back, open-ended materials, you give them the best possible opportunity to learn through their own self-directed play. You are actively clearing their mental path for deeper learning and more creative problem-solving. Step 4 moves us out of the bedroom and into the kitchen and living areas. A core Montessori principle is involving the child in the community of the home. Instead of buying a plastic toy kitchen, give them real-world tasks. Let them wipe down the actual dining table after a meal. To time this correctly, you need to understand sensitive periods. These are specific windows of time when a child is developmentally ready and intensely fascinated by a particular new skill. Watch closely for these fascinations. You might notice them suddenly captivated by how you sweep the floor or pour water from a pitcher. When you identify a sensitive period, provide them with real, child-sized tools so they can practice and master that exact skill independently. Integrating them into daily life through practical, hands-on tasks builds a deep sense of belonging and fulfills their biological drive for mastery. Putting all of this together turns a standard, chaotic household into a calm, organized, and accessible living space. You have prepared the environment, simplified the materials, and stepped back to take on the role of the observant guide. The result is a child who is fully equipped with the physical and mental independence required to build their own confidence from the ground up. Your challenge is to make one small change today. Pick a single task, like moving your child's bowls and cutlery into an accessible bottom drawer, and let them help set the table. Join the community of Montessori guides and share your child's first independent victory down in the comments below.